Welcome to the Sanity Project podcast, where you can awaken your mind to clarity and success even in today's life challenges. We're here to provide insights and solutions that will help you live a sane, healthy, and prosperous life. Here's your host, Joanne Victoria.
Hello, everybody. This is Joanne Victoria with another amazing episode of the Sanity Project podcast. I like to have guests on my podcast that help you, the listener, discover a life of clarity, confidence, and success. And today's guest fits the bill in more ways than one. Today's guest is Taina Jara. Taina is a life transition coach, and her life's mission is to expand the human consciousness on the planet and help people around the world discover and express their life's purpose so they can make the impacts they desire and create the life they love. Taina's great guiding values are truthfulness, faith, and courage, and she works with visionaries, influencers, and leaders in business, social, spiritual, and artistic areas to help them transition to the next inspiring vision in their life or career. And what Taina is going to be talking about with us today is how to solve the lack of meaning, fulfillment, and aspirations in one's life, including when people have arrived at a crossroads. I would say especially when they've arrived at a crossroads, when they've examined their life and see that their career is unfulfilled, they have health issues, the relationship has broken down, or they're relocating and they're looking for new meaning and purpose. And this is where she comes in. And she comes in with her 5-step system to navigate through life's transitions, which sounds very important. And I hope to hear from Taina about that today. So let's welcome her to the show, and welcome to the show, Taina Jara. Is it Yara or Zara?
Chara.
Chara.
Yara.
Okay.
Yara.
Yara. Why? Okay, why? Yara. Spelled Jara, people, but pronounced Yara.
Yes. Thank you so much, Anna. It's a real pleasure and honor for me to be here. Thank you for the introduction and for the warm welcome.
Well, I think you deserve it. I've read your website this morning, and you have some interesting stories about yourself and how you got to where you are today. And you're extremely articulate in your writing, and people have to know that from me, because that's very, very important that you're a good writer so they can clearly read what you have to say. And that
thank you.
Well, it's important. I think that you don't write fluff, you write substance. And what I want to ask you about first thing, because our guests like to identify to the best of their ability with my guests, is how did you get here today? How did you get to the place where you're doing what you're doing, helping the people in such an amazing, unique way? And just tell us how you got here. I'm very curious, and I know our listeners are as well.
So how I got here is in short words, and I'm going to expand on it.
Sure.
Raw life experience. It's everything I talk about, everything I teach to my clients, my friends, community, I have done myself. And I am originally from a small farm from Finland. And I always say it was a safe place to grow up in this natural environment. It wasn't emotionally always safe place. And that is where some of my big wounding came from. And that became to be one of my biggest treasures when I started to heal that wound. And that has led me to where I'm now. But I'm saying it was a safe place. I was in the middle of nature. It was amazing environment to grow up with nature, snow, sun, rain, animals, trees, you name it. But on the other side, that made me very, very curious about the world. Okay, this is what I know. I feel I have strong roots thanks to this nature and the challenging childhood I had. So how is the world? How do people around the world live? How do they think? What are the different cultures, mentalities, and so on? And that led me to, I always say, I am a relentless seeker of the truth. I wanted to know what this life is about. Who am I? What am I here to do? What is the point of this life? And all these things. So far, I have lived in 6 countries. I have learned a few languages, worked in a few careers, and done very profound spiritual and personal healing and exploration at the same time. And many people who hear about my story for the first time, they may assume, okay, she comes from a family with great connections, a lot of money. All the opposite. Actually, my family's business went on bankrupt just before I moved from home. So I needed to make my own journey. I needed to work through my own challenges and earn my money and go through the studies. And that is what it was. At the same time, I was very excited about the adventure, but I also felt guided through those adventures and challenges. And I've done the international relocations, painful relationship breakdowns, lots of health issues. And my biggest awakening was when I was really in a bad shape, laying in a hospital in 2002. Nobody knew what was going on. I was in a very bad shape, and I just felt this inner peace. And I knew everything would be just fine. I would be taken care of by a bigger power. And since then, I started exploring life. And this is where I'm now. Now I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and raw life experience. That is what it is about for me.
Well, I thank you for sharing that, because most of the listeners think there's always some special help that coaches, consultants, people like us get, that we are given a gift and here's the path and everything is lined up for us and we don't have to do much. And it's usually far from the opposite. We have to do our own suffering, our own learning, and our own teaching to ourselves along the way, just as you've described. And I hope people who are listening appreciate that. There is no special, we don't get a special dispensation. We have to earn it. We have to earn where we are in every step of the way, and Taina has done the same thing. So, go ahead.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And in a nutshell, what has been on that journey, what you say, Joanne, that is so, so true. And I have had exactly the same experience. So on my journey, the combination was in a general nutshell was the combination of following my dreams. Often my dreams, I had no idea where they came from, but I just felt this is something I need to do. And even if I didn't know how I'm going to do this, but I just set the intention and I'm going to do this. And the beautiful thing was, even though I didn't see the path, I didn't know how and who would help me, at the same time, I was always guided. So life also always sent the people to my path that gave me the right messages, challenged me as well, yes, to make me stronger and to strengthen my faith and help me and support me. So we are not alone on this journey, but we need to take the first step first before the help can come. And
Yes.
that is the step into courage that so many people are hesitant with. They want to see the path and the help first.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make the step. We need to step out. We need to step into the life first, and then the help can come. And sometimes the help comes through direct blessings. Sometimes it comes through challenges, and both are wonderful helps.
Yeah, the challenges are amazing when they show up. It's like, why are you doing this? That's what I said. Why? When will the challenges end? When do they stop? And I don't think they'll ever stop until I'm dead, because every challenge is another step to learning and experiencing the life's purpose and how to make it right and how to contribute, because we're here to contribute who we are. And I like to think that I'm able to have podcast guests that contribute who they are and how they got here, and how it was not always easy, but it was profound nonetheless. So
it wasn't easy, but it was so worthwhile. And from my point of view, it is the only thing that makes sense in life, to be honest.
well, it's what happened. You stepped out on your path. You used your courage to take that first step into the unknown. It is unknown, and people that are listening have to get that. They have to accept that when you step out, you don't get the end of the story before you start the beginning, because
Yes.
you will get the end of the story when you're dead, actually. But the story will continue to unfold each step that you take. And as Taina says, people along the way were there to help, and people will show up in the strangest of ways, but they will show up for you.
Yes.
So you talk here about a 5-step system to navigate through life's transitions. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Would you like me to give an overview or really go through the steps? How much detail would you like to have at this stage?
Let's first tell people where they can find further information about you. Where can they find more? Before we get to the end of anything, where can they find out anything about you, and as well as a direction to your 5-step system?
So the best way to find about me and also contact me to get, I have a nice 5-page PhD document, PDF document about the 5-step system that I'm very happy to share completely for free on my website, tainamaria.com. Joanna, will you be writing the website somewhere, or shall I spell it out?
I'll spell it out, but it will be on, you will have a page on my website, which will also have the link to your website. And for those who are listening and don't want to waste a minute, it's TainaMaaria.com. And if you're listening to this and looking at her website on my page, you will notice that. So wherever you're seeing her, it's TainaMaaria.com. So I guess, why don't you just give us an overview of the 5-steps system to navigate through life's transitions?
Yes, I'm very happy to do so. So this is a 5-step system which take you from where you are to where you want to be in 5 steps, and it's a gradual process where we combine connecting with the quantum energy, the spiritual power that we all have direct access to, our mental faculties. We also reprogram our paradigms that are holding us back, and then we also really take action. So it combines all these aspects, which needs to be aligned in order for us to create anything new. And this is really the easiest and quickest way from where you are to where you want to be, because all these different elements are aligned. But even if I say the easiest and quickest way, I don't mean that there are no challenges, there is no growth involved, quite the opposite. But this is a beautiful process because it makes you to grow into who you really are and to have a more meaningful and fulfilling life and impact in the world. So the first step is about activating your forgotten dreams. I believe that everyone has at least one dream, but many of us has put it away because we have thought that we can't make it happen. Others may have said it's not possible. We may think that we are crazy, and we may even be ashamed of our dreams because can be quite big or quite profound. So in the first step, we activate those forgotten dreams and we create a clear, inspiring vision so that you know where you are going. And in the second step, we learn how to keep your promises to yourself. And this is so often overseen. We are quite good at keeping promises to other people, right? We say they can count on us. But how about us? I have this dream, I would love this, but that's not that important. We easily then we skip it. And also fears can come up, doubts can come up, like who am I to do this? And the fears can come. So in the second step, we really embrace the fear that can come up, and we understand the fear is our ally. It's not a sign that we are doing anything wrong here. So we need to keep that promise of following our dreams and visions in order to move forward. So that is the second step. The third step is how we realign our new self to our environment. That means when we make a committed decision to go after a vision or a dream that we would love to create, and then we say, yes, we are going to do this. No matter what, I'm going to do this. Step by step, I'm going to do this. And then in that moment, when we make that decision and set that goal, we become emotionally, energetically kind of a new person. We are not the same person anymore than we used to be. So then we may start looking at our environment. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to be able to move forward in this environment because the environment in that instant hasn't changed. And there possibly are not many people around us who are cheering. We may be challenged by doubters or criticizers or, hey, what's this? And who are you? You are not the same. And so in this step, we really make sure that we can function and connect with our environment in a productive way while also following the vision. And in the fourth step, we then start really anchoring the new vision into our everyday life by taking stock of our habits, responsibilities, and really making sure that the responsibilities and habits we have are supportive of the vision that we have chosen, are supportive of the dream that we have chosen. And in this, when we do this, we also need to understand that sometimes we may need to assume responsibilities that are temporary. Sometimes you need to stay in a job that you don't want to stay just to bridge a gap. So we want to keep the feet firmly on the ground at the same time. So here it becomes really more real, step by step. And in the fifth step, when you reach the fifth step, you have really grown a lot. Personally, you have started taking action towards your dream. You are interacting with your environment in a new way, and you have already started attracting new people, new opportunities, new ideas. You have started really to feel like another person, and you have learned to master different challenges and difficulties, and your self-confidence has really strengthened. And you have understood that feeling fear doesn't mean that you are doing anything wrong, and you have learned to navigate these stumbling blocks and make them to your stepping stones. So in the fifth step, you really start noticing how much you have learned, how much you have grown, and you have started already reaping the rewards of your learning. And it's so important to celebrate that. So in the fifth step, we really celebrate that and also look forward where from here, because the journey is never really ended. This is just a big first milestone for you. But the celebration is so important because many, especially high achievers, they forgot to celebrate. They achieve a milestone and say, great, and next. And
Right.
we really want to acknowledge ourselves. So this is in a short overview, the process of the 5 steps. Of course, there is a lot of different aspects and dimensions to each step, but this is really the overview of it.
So if you go to listeners, if you go to her website, you will find a way to download this PDF and start working on it. Now, what if somebody wanted to work with you? Is there a way on your website that they can contact you?
Yes, so on the website, first of all, to get this free resource, you can either go to a tab called Free Resources, and there you can enter your email address, and then I will get your email address and I will send it to you by email. And in that way, we are also connected by email.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions about the blueprint or anything else you want to talk about, then we are connected. On that website, you can also fill in a contact form, or you can also find my email address and phone number. I'm in Australia, so if you are overseas, you can contact me by WhatsApp or Telegram, but maybe the easiest is email, or then connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. So on the website, you can definitely find a way to connect with me.
Yes, it's really important that people know how to find you, because your 5-step system to navigate through life's transitions sounds very involved and engaging and complete, because you start from the first step and then you have an action plan that's attached to that. So I find that all very beneficial and very helpful.
Joanne, what we could also do in the podcast information where you add my website, we could also add my email address so that people can just copy the email address and send me an email and say, could I get the blueprint of the 5-step system, or if they have any questions. That is also a possibility.
Okay, we'll put all of that out there.
Yes.
So that everybody has opportunity to access the information that you've lived, that you've reframed for others to use in whatever life they're living now and whatever they want to do to change it. So what would you say has been the most exciting thing that's happened to you in the past year or so?
In the past year, in the past 12 months?
Yeah.
Oh my. I got, thank you for asking. This is a great timing because I have just finished that 7-year cycle, of which last year was really the final step and a highlight and a challenge as well. As we have spoken, it all comes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
1 year ago, 1 year ago, I had started collaborating and being mentored by Bob Proctor. And I was really setting new visions and goals for myself in private and in business. And I was back then working at a university. I was living here in Melbourne, Australia. And I was feeling that something wasn't quite right. It was like, the caterpillar, when it starts to come out of the shell, it feels uncomfortable, right?
Absolutely.
And I asked for guidance. What should I do next? I feel I need to go somewhere now. Where should I go? When? And what should I do next? One morning in June 2018, I was brushing my teeth. Just a normal morning, and I got a flash, I got guidance, go to Finland, which is my home country, and I haven't lived there for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I followed that intuition. It was so clear. It went straight to my heart. I saw the picture. I saw the vision. So to cut a long story short, I followed that intuition. I quit my job. I moved to Finland and into this beautiful house which belongs to my family, and it was empty. So it was furnished and everything. It was easy for me to go there, surrounded by lakes and forests in a small town. And I didn't know why I was going there, but I knew I had to go. And it turned out to become one of my most profound healing experiences. And I got the people who were supporting me. I was healing some childhood wounds that I needed to go back to Finland. And I also reconnected with the land, gave thanks to the lovely memories and all the energy and beautiful roots that land has given me. Those are beautiful memories. And then in May this year, I came back to Melbourne, and now I am living in this beautiful suburb near the city, near the beach, near the gardens, near a village. So it has been a big transformation again in the last 12 months.
It sounds amazing, and it sounds very healing and profound. I want to thank Taina Jara for being here today. And as life goes on, I will be able to more mellifluously pronounce her name. I want to thank her for being here today. And I strongly suggest, as I do every time I record, is that you re-listen to this podcast, people. I don't care what you think you heard, you didn't hear everything. So re-listen to it with a pen and paper right next to you so that you can take notes. And I also wanted to tell people they can go to my website at askjoannevictoria.com, and they will have a free book. It's called The True Self Handbook, a guide to transform your life, as well as a free PDF report, 5 steps to life-work harmony, because I think that's what I'm all about, life-work harmony for entrepreneurs and leaders. So this has been a great recording, and I am so glad that you were here today, Taina, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, since it's still very early there.
Yes, thank you so much, Joanne, and thank you to all listeners for your interest. And yes, please listen again. Repetition in life is so key. We always hear something new every time.
Every time.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Okay, people, take it easy. Talk later.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sanity Project podcast. Please go to askjoannevictoria.com to listen to more podcasts. Check out Joanne's coaching programs and get a free copy of her report, 5 Steps to Achieve Life-Work Harmony. That's askjoannevictoria.com. Take care, and thanks for being here.